Hello, welcome to Mentors, the podcast where we unlock the power of guidance and leadership. Today we have with us an extraordinary mentor who is shaping lives and futures, from career-changing advice to personal breakthrough. Get ready for inspiring stories and valuable insights. Let's dive in and explore the impact of mentorship on success, growth, and lasting legacy. Before then, we will be going on a short break. Please don't go anywhere. We will be right back with you. My name is Dr.Charlse. Welcome back to Mentors, where every great journey begins with guidance and inspiration. We bring you an interesting topic on mentors shaping lives and future today. So sit back and get ready to be inspired. This is Mentors, where the path to success starts with an helping hand. Joining us today in the studio is our esteemed guest, Dr. Dr.Charlse. We are thrilled to have you today on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Kindly introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Dr. Charlse. I'm a mental health professional, precisely a consultant psychiatrist. We manage various kinds of mental health conditions, and we also manage some minor general health conditions. So that's basically what psychiatrists do.
Thank you very much. You are a consultant psychiatric. That's good.
Yes.
So in your field of mentorship, what inspired you to become a mentor, Dr. Chukwudi?
Okay, the basic thing that inspired me to become a mentor is simply because I was mentored by my very senior colleagues. Being a doctor requires that you must be mentored. And also, being a doctor requires that you must mentor the younger ones who are coming up. Because there are thousands of people who would want to become a doctor first, after which they will now try to specialize to become either a psychiatrist or gynecologist or every other field of medicine. So it requires that those people must be mentored before they can become specialists like us. So that means that as a consultant, you are already a mentor by default. So that's what happens once you are a consultant. You must have people that you mentor. That's basically that.
Thank you.
Yes.
So first of all, you were a mentee. Now
Yes.
you are a mentor, because you cannot be a consultant without having somebody mentored you to become a consultant.
Somebody must have mentored you so much before you can become a
So now you have a lot of mentees, because a lot of people are aspiring to be consultants. So you are
by default. I have a lot of mentees.
That's good. So welcome. Thank you. You can see what it takes because of the professional qualification and occupational position. You must first of all be a mentor, a mentee, then you become a mentor. And that is how it has been in professional mentorship. Yes. So can you share with us a crucial moment in your mentoring journey?
Okay. I believe that there are a lot of moments to share because the journey has not been easy over the years, including the journey of me being mentored and then the journey of me mentoring other people. Now, let me start with mine when I was mentored. I was mentored by a lot of people, but I had a very big senior colleague whom I was so attached to in the course of my specialization. So during the journey, it was not easy. I had to basically contact him most of the time in the course of my job. I had to liaise with him in managing some of the patients. And I was also asking him questions very, very frequently. Now, there were times when your mentor will not be on ground, will not be around, and maybe as a young doctor, you may not know what to do. These are the times of dilemma when a young doctor may not know what to do at a point in time because your mentor is not around or maybe not reachable. and sometimes it can create some kind of problems. However, what is important is that you must have a link, a contact with your mentor all the time. And you don't necessarily have to have one mentor. You can have 2, 3, or as the case may be. So what is important there is that you must always have a connection, a collaboration, the contact with your mentor all the time in order to be able to function well. In the area of me mentoring others, it has also not been easy. Sometimes we as mentors, we think that we want our mentees to be like us automatically. And most times we forget that we spent several years becoming what we have become. We have spent several years taking exams, doing all manner of things in order to become what we have become. Now, mentors are more likely to sometimes forget that they have spent several years knowing these things that they have known today. And we want our mentees to be like us overnight. Maybe they have only been mentored for a year or two, and maybe the smallest mistakes they will make, we will almost want to cut off their heads, so to speak. So I think mentors should be a little bit patient with their mentees. And I try to be very conscious about that when I'm in contact with my younger colleagues, especially when they do things that we don't want them to do. We tend to overflog the issues. So most times I put it at the back of my mind that this thing I'm trying to make this person to do, I have learned it. It took me years to learn that. So I will always be conscious of that and try to be very patient with them. So the issue of mentoring generally is something that we have to approach with so much patience when we are approaching our younger ones who we are trying to mentor. That's basically that.
Thank you very much. I think from all you have said is very, we can categorize it. I think very soon we have a mentorship, what they call it, 4 or 5 C's of mentorship.
Okay.
Communication, collaboration, commitment, and connection. These are the 4 C's. And from what you said, at any point in time, even if when your mentor is not around, basically you can use a lot of communication process to get what you want, either by calling the person, advising, going back to what he have advised you, or immediate advice on the job. And that's a good one as a medical doctor in emergency situation. Maybe as a mentee, you can be able to call your mentor and he will give you guidance over the phone or even by email or other things. So that's the communication there.
Yes.
And also the patience. You elaborated on that, having patience, because most of the time you as a mentor might easily forget the process it took you to get to that level and need an automatic miracle for your mentee to perform. So that patience, as you said, is the key thing, and that's a very good one. Thank you very much. Okay. So we have another question. The key lessons you have learned along the way. You have told us some of them. Maybe you can still give us some of the key lessons you learned as a mentee and now as a mentor.
Okay. Well, one of the things I have come to realize, first of all, while I was being mentored, is that's at the very early stages, we used to pick our mentors based on what we think that they have achieved. Maybe especially in the areas of finances, in the areas of things that are not necessarily connected to what the basic thing that we have chose them to mentor us about. But of course, that time we were much younger and we knew a little about mentorship. So that time we used to choose our mentors based on maybe the kind of cars that they drive, the kind of dressing that they usually put on, and some other, would I say, unnecessary criteria for choosing them. So I learned over time that it is not about all those things, because the basic thing why you want to learn from your mentor is about that particular knowledge, that particular career that you want to go through, not necessarily what they have. So I have learned over the years, and I keep advising my younger ones, or the people I'm trying to mentor, that they should not pick their mentors just based on the financial things that they think that they stand to gain or something. Maybe they are mentors. have so much money or something, so they would want to be like that person in the areas of finances too. So they should pick their mentors based on singular reason, and that reason should be you want to be a doctor or you want to be a so specialist, and the person is successful in that. The person knows that somebody may be successful as a psychiatrist, he does so well in the practice and all that, he may not be so rich. So that means that the mentees should be careful about their what they have in mind while choosing whoever that they want them to mentor them.
Okay.
So the lesson I have learned is this, that most of the mentees are making the wrong choices based on these reasons. So I think there should be a shift from that. And I keep advising the ones I can advise that please make your choices based on some certain criteria, not necessarily because of the finances or what the person is in the society. And that's why you want the person to mentor you.
Thank you very much. I think the basic thing in it is that focus on the service and integrity of your mentor. And even if it's rich, okay, but
Yes.
not being inspired by materialism.
Those material, yeah, exactly.
That's a good one. So I encourage the mentees to have a good orientation, to know that yes, money answers all things, but it's not everything.
It's not everything.
It can be a solution. And when we focus on the material things instead of service, we end up looking for shortcuts to get rich or whatever because we are focusing on the money. But if we focus on service and focus on integrity, I think you can even become a better mentee and also a good mentor to others as when the time is we attend to that stage. Thank you very much. To wrap it up, do you have advice, a kind of a more advice? We have given them advice, but more advice concerning what we have spoken about, the oncoming mentors, mentees.
Yeah. Okay, my only advice for them is that I guess it's about being a doctor and maybe being a psychiatrist or being any other medical specialist. The point is this, let money not be your focus.
Amen.
Because it's a long journey, really, really long journey. By the time you go through medical school and after which you now enter any area of specialization that you would want. So it should not be driven by money or things that you stand to gain, material things that you stand to gain. That's one. The second thing is that it is a very long journey. You have to be prepared. You must be prepared to put in the work. And the work will last for several years before you can be able to achieve that. So anybody who is coming in as a doctor or as a specialist should be prepared and have in mind that it's a really long journey. And that journey lasts for years. And those years, you have to put in a lot of work. You have to do a lot of reading. You have to take several exams. And some of those exams, who knows, some people don't pass at the first sitting, second sitting. Sometimes it begins to affect their mental health, begins to affect them generally. They should not bother. They should not mind it because that is how it is. At the end of the day, the person will be able to pull through. So patience is the key. Perseverance is the key. The person has to really work hard. The person has to really persevere in order to be able to pass all the exams and become successful and become a doctor. And after which, at the end of the day, the person will also become a mentor himself.
Thank you, Dr. Lorna.
Thank you very much.
In conclusion, is just tenacity. Let any mentee know that yes, you can get to any level you want, like your mentor, by having a good focus, constructive reasoning, and knowing that there is always a prize for every success. Thank you for coming. That wraps up today's episode of Mentors. We hope you are living with fresh insights and inspiration from our incredible guest. Thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, share the podcast with others, and leave us a review. Your feedback helps us to continue bringing you meaningful content in this transformative power of mentorship. Until next time, remember, mentorship is not just a relationship, it's a legacy. Thank you very much and do have a pleasant day. My name still remains Ugochukwu Akowasi.